Alrighty, this is the second video on our DIY cable system, and today we're going to be in the workshop fabricating the upper pulley assembly. If you haven't seen video 1, I would make sure to go watch that first so that all of this makes a little more sense. After the rough construction is done, I plan on doing some operational troubleshooting if needed, some light testing, and then a recap at the end. With that, let's get rolling. Step 1 is cutting two 13-inch pieces of 3-inch wide plate that are 3/16 of an inch thick. For this, I'm using my Evolution metal cutting chop saw, and this thing runs a carbide tipped blade, which compared to a standard abrasive wheel, really keeps the dust down in the shop. After they were cut, I made sure that the two pieces were mirrored to each other by quickly cleaning up the edges on my belt grinder. I 3D printed the front geometry of this pulley assembly straight from my CAD drawing. It's got a rounded nose plus a 1/4-inch hole that'll accept a cable stop pin, which is really just a 1/4-inch bolt that keeps the cable from coming up on top of the pulley. But before I shape the front, I'm drilling all the holes. There are two 10mm holes for the pulley shafts, and then there's that 1/4-inch hole we just talked about for the cable stop pin. With the holes drilled, I brought the whole assembly over to the belt grinder and hogged out the steel down to my scribed dimensions. Honestly, I probably could have sped this up by knocking the bulk of the material off on the bandsaw first, but I got lazy and went straight to the belts. To beef up these two 13-inch pieces, I'm adding a pair of small triangular wedges at the bottom. They're not huge, but I figured a little extra support couldn't hurt. I clamped everything flat and square on my clutch welding table, tacked them in place, ran a bead across both sides, and then ground them flush with my angle grinder. The last piece I have to make is the attachment plate. It's about 7 1/4 inches long and 2 inches wide. I'll also be making this component out of 3/16 of an inch bar. Once again, I'm using a 3D printed template to make sure that the holes all landed in the right spots. The two holes on this plate are 5/8 of an inch, which is pretty big, and I don't have a drill bit that is that size. What I did have was a 5/8 of an inch carbide hole saw. That worked great. Next, I assembled the two side plates with the pulleys snugged in tight, just so I knew everything was aligned. Then I sat the entire assembly on top of the mounting plate, I squared it up as best as I could, and welded the mounting plate to the two long pulley holders. This part went very smooth and everything came out nice and square. To mount this upper cable assembly to my Titan T3 power rack, I'm using the same two bolts that hold my upper cross member. This is nice because it requires no extra hardware on the rack and I can use the hardware that's already there. Once I had it tightened down, I did a highly scientific stress test and then concluded that it was probably not going to break on me the first time I used it. For the cable, I went with a fairly cheap pre-made fitness cable off of Amazon. I actually ended up buying a few different lengths and swapping them out later during continual testing. But more of that in video 3. This first cable I used was a little longer than needed, but I was able to do some initial testing, making sure that the trolley carriage was still gliding smoothly on the uprights and that the pull felt right through the new upper assembly. At this point, I was getting pretty excited because everything was feeling good. But that doesn't mean I didn't have a little troubleshooting to do because I ran into one problem right out of the gate, and that was that the cable was jumping out of the pulley track on the front pulley of the assembly. So with that issue in mind, let's get into the troubleshooting section of the video. I've been testing this guy for about an hour and I've found a few things that I don't like. First of all, I don't like how when you let any slack up on the cable, you get this little hump here between the two pulleys. So one thing I'm thinking of doing is making a 3D printed sleeve that clips on the sides and holds this guy down. Another option would be to put a third pulley in the middle right here and then have this routed under that third pulley. So like come through here and kind of like that. I do have an extra pulley. All I would need to do is drill a hole right through both pieces and put another pulley in there, and I can have that third pulley in line, kind of holding it down in this position. So that is an option. Another problem I'm seeing is that this cable on the front pulley can actually get over to the side and get caught in between the frame and the pulley. Now this only happens if you're pulling at like a weird angle at the bottom, but you never know, that can happen, and I don't want to always have to be super cautious whenever using this device that it would do something like that. So I'm going to fix this. I'm just not 100% sure how. One fix could be that third pulley, but another fix could be a bigger printed bushing right here. I may 3D print like a bushing for this 1/4-inch hardware that prevents this cable from coming out of the track. That's probably going to be the first thing I do because it's so easy, and we'll see how it fixes the cable untracking issue. While I do think that the third pulley may help with this problem in the front, I just don't know if it's worth the effort, and it's more complexity that seems unnecessary. It's also more, I guess, friction. I know they're good bearings and all, but there's more friction by doing this. There's just another pulley that you're forcing this cable to have to bend around. So it may just not be necessary. I think if I put that bushing in the front here and then a cover here, then the whole set of issues may be solved. I also haven't quite figured out how I'm gonna get this connector to stay in the middle here. Right now I can ride back and forth on this bolt. One easy solution is to just make some bushings that can go on both sides of this guy, but I do have a restriction here. I can't make them too big because this wheel is pretty close to this. If I was doing this again, I'd probably give myself some more room here so that the top wheel isn't this close to the carabiner that is holding the cable on. But that's what I have to work with right now. And there is clearance right now. It's not hitting it, especially not when it's engaged. So I think I can make some plastic bushings here to kind of pinch this guy and hold it upright. Alright, so here's the bushing I printed for the 1/4" hardware. It's a fairly tight fit, but everything comes together nicely, and this bushing now keeps the cable from walking out of the pulley track. At this point, I'm pretty confident that this little bushing fixes my problem altogether. I also printed 2 larger 1/2" bushings that hold the carabiner on the trolley in the right spot on the connection bolt. These 2 bushings solve the traveling carabiner issue that I was running into, where the carabiner will go all the way to the right or all the way to the left of the trolley bolt. Okay, we're in a good spot now and it appears that everything is operational. My plan going forward is to spend a couple of weeks testing this unit and experimenting with different configurations. Once I feel comfortable with its status, I'll take it all apart and add some finishing touches like paint on all the appropriate components and my final finishes on the loading bar. This, along with testing the unit, will be the basis of video 3, so if you want to be notified when that drops, hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the notifications. I'll also have links for all the CAD files for the shown components in the description below if any of y'all are interested in building one of these yourself. Until next time, y'all train hard.